Hey guys, Professor Bill of Comic Book University and Immortal Man issue number 2. Alright, there's going to be some good and some bad with this review. Let's get started. Basically, the Immortal Man himself and his sister are at this war with each other. And this is explained through so much exposition that I started to get a little bit of bile in the back of my throat. Yeah, we're going to start off with a little bit of the bad. Every single thing about this, like, this is issue 2, and we're only now really learning about the characters. Now, here's the funny thing about that. I was okay with that back in issue 1. I'm okay with the mystery because these are brand new characters, a brand new storyline, brand new origin, right? This is something entirely different. These guys have been here for like 100,000 years, whatever, and we never knew about it. That's crazy. That's crazy. So what we get is, or what I was thinking we were going to get is that we would very slowly learn about these characters. Maybe starting with this issue, we'd learn a little bit more about this character. And I thought that's what they were going to do with Reload. I thought we were going to learn a whole lot about Reload in this issue. And then in the next issue, we'd learn about, like, you know, this person or that person or whatever. But no, that's not really what happened. Instead, we get a whole bunch of diatribe, and it's really weak diatribe. Like, for a character like, I can't remember her name right now, but the Immortal Man's sister, for her to be so ancient, and the best that we can get out of her is, yes, how old are you again? Or how long has it been since you've called this one your brother? Oh, it's been 48 years, ma'am. Ah, yes, you guys are so young. And, you know, it's a shame that you're so, like, dude, come on. That is so weak. That's such weak sauce. I don't want to hear some ancient creature talking like that. Okay, you know what? Let me tell you how I want to hear it, okay? I used to read the, I don't even know if they're still out. If they are, I'd like to still read them. But I used to read these books from the World of Darkness, the Vampire the Masquerade books. And I think it was the Jihad book. I can't remember, but whatever it is, they had this one thing where there's these Methuselahs and antediluvians, these really ancient vampires, like, who could have potentially known Cain back in the day, the first vampire, according to these books. And there was something about it where there was this creature, this ancient vampire there, and this much younger vampire who goes up, only like, 300, 400 years old or whatever, 600 years old, goes up and sees her. And the conversation in this guy's mind as he's talking to her, physically is, okay, you can tell that she's an ancient vampire because she doesn't feel the need to waste movements. She's not going to nod her head or shrug her shoulders or fiddle with her fingers or scratch an itch that isn't there. She's not going to do anything like that. She's going to stand completely stark still with her hands down by her side and just stare at you. And when she's got something to say, she'll say it. And be careful, because she will move in an instant and she will destroy me. There will be nothing left of me. No one will ever find what's left of me. So, like, that was a genuinely scary impression of who these ancient creatures are. And here's this ancient woman who's just like, oh, yeah, yes, it's such a shame. You young ones, you haven't been around so long. Back when I was a youngling. It's like, dude, shut up. Just stop. This comic book was an epic disappointment in the writing section. No names. However, the art was, oh my God, so beautiful. Why can't we get more art like this? So here's the thing. There's so much that they could do with these characters. So much. But instead, we get this weak, it's like, this is like back when comic books were new in the world and they thought that they were just, explaining to kids. Like, I haven't seen DC explain new characters like this since, I don't know, at least the 70s, but possibly just the 60s. I mean, like, way back in the day when they used to sit there and, oh yeah, comic books are just for kids. Adults don't read comic books. Well, comic books have evolved since then, and they talk to adults, and they let it be that you slowly learn about these characters, not just, okay, here's these characters, bow. In a week, I can't think of a better word to describe it. Instead of a week exposition where they say, oh yes, this person has the ability to do this and this and this, and it's really awesome. So we have to watch out that he does so and so. Like, no, that's not how you introduce these characters. If you were going to do that, you should have just done it in the first issue. And so this way we know who the characters are. You left us with a sense of who are these guys? A sense of mystery in the first place. And now you just, oh, by the way, we forgot to explain these characters. Here you go. No, just weak. Every single character in this comic book, while some of them have pretty interesting powers, every character in this comic book is just weak. And any part where it was going to be interesting, where I was going to be interested, like this one kid who's basically a version of Evan Saban Noor, Evan Saban Noor, this version of him in this world. He goes and he sees his parents have just been slain by this immortal female who's talking about, oh yes, the art of the knife is a beautiful thing, and she doesn't have a knife in her hands. Shut up. I think somebody forgot to draw a knife, or somebody wrote in the word knife instead of saying claws on the end of my fingertips. No, there was no knife. So what the frig? And then the parents' dead bodies turn into these bloodless creatures. Meanwhile, they're extremely bloody. They're just like a form of the Brood. And they're getting ready to attack. It's like, oh, you shall be their first kill. You should be quite honored. Shut up. You are such a weak... Like, please just... Look, you are powerful. I am soft. Kill me and spare me from this nonsensical conversation you're trying to hold with me. You're trying too hard to make these guys, what's the word I'm looking for? Sinister. You know what I'm saying? They're not coming off as sinister. They're coming off as so campy. It's ridiculous. This comic, you get a D. Enjoy your D. This comic had more hope, in my opinion, than any of those comics out there. The one character reload, the way that the explanation was going in the beginning, I'm thinking, ooh, coal mines? Say it was in West Virginia or something like that, so that it could be, whatever it was, whatever state it was, so that we could say, oh yeah, man, look, this character would possibly know Brimstone, because wouldn't that just be cool? No, now I'm just like, no, Brimstone's still cool so far. This is kind of stinky, so I don't want them to be related at all. Say this was a coal mine someplace else. Say it was a coal mine in freaking, East Timbuktu or something like that. I don't want them to be related because I don't want your stink anywhere near a comic book which is at least doing well right now, in my opinion. Look, DC has been, they've been just going off the cuff a bit. Look, way too many titles delayed. DC, Dark Knight's Metal, delayed for almost a year. We got the notification after right before the fourth issue of what the heck is it? Countdown? I don't even remember because the damn comic is every 2 months the comic comes out now. The fake Watchmen one. Anyway, the countdown clock, whatever, the doomsday clock, there we go. Like, I'm so tired of this. DC, end this entire series if that's what you got to do to get your damn comic books to come out on time. This is sickening. And now you're going to throw, like, is that what this is? You're putting out the New Age of Heroes comic books, and we're supposed to be, enjoying this? I'm done. I'll take all of these DC Age of New Heroes comic books out of my pull box if that's going to be the case. I love getting like positive emotional about a comic book, but now we've got delays like crazy. And yeah, by the way, that Doomsday Clock, it was already delayed to be once every 2 months is coming out. Now they're saying it's going to be delayed even worse than that. They can't even say what the delays are going to be. It's so bad. And now we get this comic book that I was actually excited for. Just go back and look. Before I read this comic book, just this week, just yesterday, I put out the This Week in Comics. I had nothing but good things to say about this issue because I was excited for it because of what happened in the previous issue. And now I read this issue and I'm so terribly disappointed at this ridiculous writing. I got a 4-year-old who could write as good as this. If you think I'm joking, try me. And I hate being insulting, but that's why I'm not saying any names. I'm not making any personal attacks. It is what it is. There was actually a lot that I did like about this comic book, but it's so woefully overshadowed by this terrible writing. I feel like it's like, okay, we're on a crunch. Don't be one of those late comic books. Get it out. So like, okay, Here, I made my schedule. This stunk up my entire man cave. I'm horrified at how bad this comic was. Everything it was trying to be just turned right around into one term: campy AF. Terrible, terrible comic. Terrible comic. Everything good about it, the great art, some of the really interesting storylines that are right there on the cusp of coming out to being something totally cool and memorable, all of it overshadowed by the fact that this comic book is just so damn campy. Wow. Anyway, Professor Bell Comic Book University. Class dismissed.